Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the Standards Weekly Check-In. I'm Colin, behind the camera we got Dylan.
What's up?
Today we're going to be getting into some staff picks, flipping through some new arrivals and recently priced records, and addressing your burning YouTube questions. As always, if you see anything you like, you can hit the DMs on Instagram, give the shop a ring, or just cruise by. We're open 11 to 8, 7 days a week. And with that being said, let's get into some staff picks. Very exciting record this week, right?
Oh, yeah.
Passengers?
What would you want to call it? Local,
Post-punk.
Post-punk?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, no, great record. Our buddy
Adam. Bomb Bixel.
And his crew.
Yeah.
Wrote that record.
No,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. I like to. It's nice to see people from the hardcore world branch out and do something that's cool that isn't totally embarrassing. And this is not embarrassing. It is good. I really dug it. Yeah, real gloomy, real well executed. I picked that Strange Patterns track. I put that on the jam of the week, and I stand by it. Great. That's my pick for the album. But the whole album's really good. Nice atmosphere, good tones, vocal delivery, all that. Very spooky and gloomy without being too cheesy. I dug it, man. I liked it a lot. Listened to it a lot. You played it a lot?
Yeah. To give you a sense,
go for it.
I was playing it, and someone walked in, or someone was in the store and went, "Is this Sisters of Mercy?" So yeah, that's the vibe you want.
Vocally, I think it's pretty square in there.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
It's what you'd want.
It's
yeah.
good.
What are you getting into? You flat-brimmed?
All right.
We get it.
All right, guys. So,
Gray Rats.
you know
Hard.
me.
Check out. Supreme is whack this season.
Yeah.
Go on.
If you know me, I am a late bloomer in terms of stuff that is popular.
Right.
It takes me a year to figure it out, after the fact.
That's a good pacing to be at. I'm not gonna chastise you for that.
I think these came out in 2019, and I didn't get into them until these two records specifically until 2020.
So good. That's the way to do it. Let the dust settle a little.
Yeah, and I wish I kind of bought them when we first got them.
Right.
But now, as we got them, I bought them. So.
Yeah, no, it's great. You don't have to. That's the beautiful thing about music. You don't have to be part of some stupid conversation that's going on at any time and buy into the hype of this or that. Good music is good music. I think that Mind Force quite a bit. Actually.
Yeah, I like that one. Mind Force a lot.
That guy's voice. Yeah, that guy's voice is good. It's very. What do you say? It's like a Beastie Boys style.
Oh,
vocally.
Yeah, not MCA, Ad Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminded me of this band from the 90s I liked a lot called Atlas Shrugged. Vocally. But that's for no one's interest but my own. Yeah. We got a couple things, and I'm excited about this. This is reissue of the year so far for me. If you know me, one of my favorite sub-genres of music is what I would call anarcho-hardcore, bands that kind of had bands from the UK that had that kind of fist-pumping energy of the UK 82 bands, but very serious, that took the serious politics of Crass and the and kind of more of DIY ethics, I guess you would say. And the Toxic Waste is, I wouldn't call them in the first tier with your anti-sex and your anti-systems and your icons of filth, but right below that, and very good still, and it's it's not a deep bench, that style, there's not a whole lot of bands that pull it off, and it was kind of a fleeting era, so anything from that period getting any kind of shine I love, and this Toxic Waste record is great on I think Levita Sealed Records, who have been, that's a flawless catalog right there. Anything you see that Sealed Records, it's something to get. And yeah, this is really great. Listen to that Plastic Bullet song. It sounds like Fight for Your Right to Party from Beastie Boys. The same vocal pattern, fun stuff. And this came in a used reissue that I've been able to stock before, but we're out at the moment. Man, I like this record. It's not a lot. I don't often dig into the South American metal, and I think these are all Brazilian groups. Each double LP, each group gets a side of the album, and it's
Sarcophagus?
Yeah, they're looking nasty, right? To me, the Mutilator tracks that's the way to go. Oh, that's cool. He's rocking the Anti-Nowhere League tee, which makes a lot of sense because their stuff is a little punkier than the other groups. But man, South American metal is just so cool. It's so unconventional, the approaches they take and the recording quality and Like the playing, it's so like, you know, like I'm not always in the mood for it. You know, it's not like you throw on a Parabellum album at like a party and like rock out. You know, it doesn't always call for it, but when like that sound hits and it hits you right, it's just like you feel like you should be arrested. You know, like you're listening to something illegal. Like, oh man, I hope the feds don't bust in. So yeah, opposite end of that. Completely palatable. Got this X Live double LP, which I'd only bring up because I played it quite a bit on a Sunday. Great selection of songs. I like live albums that are just like, you know, where just hit. The fourth side, I feel like they just made people sit through all their country bullshit at the end of that one, and then get a. Yeah, I mean, it starts with a track from Los Angeles, ends with a track from Los Angeles, and everything in between is everything in between. But yeah, just a great selection of songs. Smooth, goes down easy. Balance out the sarcophago jams on that record with some X, a little balance. Let's flip through some records. What's your beach regimen? Like, how often do you go to the beach? Never.
I only go if someone invites me. It's always at a time when I don't want to go. You know, parking,
right?
Sand.
Parking's not that bad if you know the beach to go to.
Sand is coarse.
What poet said that?
Anakin.
Oh yeah. A time when I felt like I had a good relationship with the world was like I was riding my bike to the beach and go to the beach like often. And that was like my main way of exercising and all that. I fell off. I haven't been this year yet. It's always like not hot enough. That's always my excuse.
And when it hits peak, you know the beach will be.
Yeah, I'm just coming up with excuses.
I'd rather go to a movie theater, I think, and just soak in that AC.
Yeah, you're easy. You're a soft pitch to go to the movies.
Just don't show me a scary movie because I want to go. Take me to watch Boss Baby 2. I'll watch it.
I appreciate that approach. You're at a point now where you will just watch any movie.
In a theater.
And
yeah. When I had Movie Pass, I would just go alone a lot. And I was like, fuck it. No one else. It's 2 p.m. and I'm off on a Tuesday because like at the time I didn't have work.
That was your peak theater experience, was that Movie Pass, huh?
Yeah.
I loved hearing all the dumb bullshit you would watch during that time.
Yeah, it was fucking badass, dude. Doing it a while, you realize like only old people, like seniors,
are in the middle of the. They give them discounts.
Yeah, they're there at like 1 p.m.
Right.
And I would go to the theater and I would only hear them like talk or like their phones would go off. Like they don't know how to silence their phone.
Yeah. And in their defense, you're in the theater at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. You're on their turf.
Yeah, and frankly. I'm not like mad. They're usually mad at each other. And I'm not like watching quality films. I'm always watching like, just whatever that's like there.
It's such an advanced take. I love it. I wish I could. I need to adopt some more Zen-like quality. Watching a bad movie in theaters is annoying to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather waste time playing a video game or doing just
working
napping. Oh no, I'm not. I'm talking like it's gonna be a waste of time.
Oh, okay.
But I just want to maximize my waste of time.
Yeah,
time
taking
wasting.
a nap.
Yeah.
Fall asleep in the theater. Who cares? Especially at 2 p.m. If you're watching Jungle Cruise, like in its 4th weekend of the release, and it's like your 3rd time watching it, just go to sleep in the theater.
Okay, and now we are at our portion of the program where we address your burning YouTube questions, or the questions left as comments on the YouTube video. That's more accurate, right?
Yeah.
Than saying your YouTube questions.
Yeah.
Shorter, so I don't know. Anyways, D-Void is asking for examples of, our favorite examples of So Bad It's Good records. He brings up Celtic Frost, Cold Lake, and Grave New World from Discharge. And I was wrestling with this question because I'm not so sure that I don't know if we're at a point where we're still thinking about bad records from good bands like that. Because I think in a lot of ways they've kind of found their audience, you know? Like Cold Lake has its fans, right?
Yeah, I like Cold Lake.
Yeah, that's why I love that album. And I don't think I'm like a weirdo at this point. I feel like there's kind of, Grave New World has kind of found an audience. A lot of these older records that people, I guess I'm from a time when like people didn't like Bad Brains after like Rock for Light, or like people would disparage like Agnostic Front after their first record. You know, any band that went metal or had any sort of crossover stuff has, historically been poo-pooed. But I think a lot of those bands have sort of like found their audience, if you will, or a lot of those albums have found their place. Like, One Voice from Agnostic Front, I think is pretty celebrated at this point. Yeah. Whereas like maybe before it was poo-pooed. But that said, in the spirit of the question, I think Second Coming from the Dickies, that's like a late 80s album. And it's like a lot more commercial than their earlier stuff. And maybe even they were like trying to get like a kid audience or something. Like it's very childish, in a very childish catalog. More childish than Juvenile. How about that?
Okay.
But I think that's a great record. You got like any like clunkers in here? And if we're talking bands, because that's the other thing. E-Town Concrete. Like if we're I'll never apologize for liking that band, and I think that's kind of considered a corny band or something.
Yeah.
But then there's a fan base for it, so I don't even know I'm just living in a weird little pocket in time. But I think even amongst E-Town Concrete fans, their third and fourth albums aren't as celebrated as their first two, and I like those a lot. And those are definitely bad. I can't like defend them, but I love them. Yeah. So there we go.
The one that pops in my head is Saint Anger.
You don't like that record?
I like that record. It was my first Metallica record.
All right, I thought we were having a serious conversation.
I'm having a serious conversation. It was the first time I've ever heard Metallica that I knew it was Metallica. So I knew what Master of Puppets was, but I didn't know what Metallica was. So like, bought that CD and listened to it a bunch. I don't know. Maybe it's different now. It's been like...
This is a shocking revelation. So you're really into that record?
I was when it first came out.
It doesn't count if you think it's bad now.
No, but that's the thing. The last time I heard it, I was like, it's not that bad.
All right.
And that was like less than 5 years ago. Yeah, Invisible Kid, dude.
Yeah.
Dirty Window.
Yeah.
You tell me those are bad songs.
I mean, yeah. But at least it is funny.
And then I guess...
you're convincing me.
Yeah, see? And like, I don't know, the other answer I could think of is like, with you, it's like E-Town Concrete.
Right.
For me, it's like, I like 100 Gex, no one likes that band.
Yeah, but then they're also really popular. So yeah, I don't know.
I love 100 Gex.
Again, maybe it's like an interconnect. Like since we're so connected right now, we know what's on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
We can't call any album popular, unpopular, bad, good because there's a big enough community for it. So.
Exactly.
I don't know. Okay, and Greg Hicks is keeping the Hellhammer Celtic Frost conversation going by bringing up the best Tom G. Warrior project post Frost. And I got to say, I like Monotheist from Celtic Frost a lot, and it was like a record I was like, oh, this is cool, but then I never really reached for it. And then Triptychon I saw like more of the same. And so I kind of like it fell out, but he brings up this album Requiem that I listened to, and it's cool. It's like horny opera metal. I don't know. I like it. But more so, you know what? I realized that I just like that Tom G. Warrior is kind of like doing something that he's genuinely interested in at any point, you know? Mm. Like I would be pretty sad if they were like doing a corny like Celtic Frost knockoff band or like just getting some scabs together. You could do that. And I think it would be popular enough. Put out some like hacky record that's just the first album rewritten called Still Morbid After All These Years or something like that, you know? There's endless amounts of groups doing that sort of thing. And I do love like, we don't really talk about Celtic Frost a lot, me and you, huh?
No.
We
talk about Celtic Frost.
I just yell at you about them.
Yeah, and then I'm like a casual fan. Like,
yeah.
I like the first albums, and then you got me into Cold Lake.
Yeah.
And then
Vanity Nemesis is my favorite. Is my favorite Celtic Frost record.
Yeah.
I like that album a lot.
See, I'm all about like Morbid Tales.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's like where I'm at. So I don't know where like. I don't know, like, past Celtic
Yeah,
Frost.
you never heard, like, Monotheist
or
any of his Triptychon stuff. It's cool, and I you know, again, I'm not going to lie and say, like, I'm up to the minute on it, but I like that the man's pursuing his interests. Yeah, my favorite Tom G. Warrior record is whatever Tom G. Warrior's into at the moment. I want him to have a great time in life. Okay, so last week we brought up the Rich Cronin from LFO interview that was on Stern. We said it was scrubbed from the internet because I think at one point we were looking for it, and it was. But the homie Bo Tiger posted a link to the upload and asks our favorite Stern interview, which is a great question, hard question to answer. I mean, my default answer forever was that Rich Cronin interview, which I urge everyone to click through that comment and check that one out if you got like an hour to just lose your mind at the insanity of that whole world. If I had to pick, I'd probably say like, I don't know if there's a specific one, but anytime the Ramones were on in the 90s, it was like the best shit ever because they were just peak fighting. Like he just like gave the floor for them to insult each other. I don't know why I find that endlessly amusing. I guess maybe given their like canonization and like the high respect they have now as like, you know, legendary group, whereas at the time they were just fighting with each other over who wore a wig and
Yeah.
So those are always those are my go-tos. But I mean, he is the master of interviews. You listen to a lot.
I listen to a lot of Stern, but I specifically, and I don't know if this counts, I listen specifically to a lot of Eric the Actor calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're just great. I'll listen to the repeats too because there's a bunch of compilations. But sometimes the compilations will have the repeats in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still listen to it because it's like I'm trying to study this man that's like going against everyone.
Yeah, just in his own world.
Yeah.
One of the most, just...
I don't know how to explain it.
No, it's a fascinating character study. That's what's so great about the show is you get to learn about these fringe humans.
Yeah. And I guess like if we're gonna go like in studio.
Yeah, in studio celebrity interview.
The only two that can come to mind are Gilbert Gottfried and Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, all right.
But like Eric the Actor, I feel like it's
any ETA content we're in for.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Rest in peace, the legend.
Exactly.
And I feel like anyone who is not a dedicated Stern fan is clocked out like 2 or 3 minutes ago. My apologies to anyone who's accidentally still listening. At some point, you're supposed to like records or music or something in this, and now we're just talking about Eric the Actor. All right, so bye for now. More childish than juvenile.